Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Nuglo. And you are watching Eyewitness News right here on The Wax on this Monday. It is a big day for Paige Bueckers, and we're just hours away from the WNBA draft, where she is expected to be the #1 pick.
Yes, and it's like, you know, who else would you want here? All right, Jill, let's just see. Let's see who you're picking for the forecast here. You got several days behind you.
These are the days that we've been below average for highs.
Oh, that's not my pick.
No.
Look at the 38 on Saturday.
I know. Our pick is going to be today, though. We're going to end this 9-day in a row below average temperature stretch. See ya for at least a couple of days. All right. We're tracking temperatures this morning, ranging from some frostier readings in Tolland and Willimantic, but then it's 50 degrees in Meriden. So we're really all over the place to start off the day. Some places very mild to kick off, but we're all headed into the 60s. Now, mid and upper 60s inland for highs and around 60 degrees along the shoreline. So let's just go town by town. Why don't we? 63 degrees for the high in Washington, 65 in Bristol, 68 in Windsor. And then we're going to be topping off around Tolland, 65 degrees, 66 in Plainfield. The normal high is 60, so we're going to be above that across the state for the most part. Very close to the 60-degree mark along the immediate shoreline, but you hop inland a little bit, and it's in the mid-60s. So all in all, we are starting off on the right foot with the weather this week. Now, some changes, of course. Eventually, we'll cool back down again. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, but for now, let's get an update on traffic with Nicole.
Yes, right now, drive times are looking pretty good right now, I have to admit. Hartford to New Haven, Waterbury to Hartford, just a half an hour. New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, it'll only take you just about an hour and 20 minutes. Not too bad. I think the fact that it's spring break for so many people is attributing to that, but look at green speeds pretty much everywhere, except if you're traveling through the Bridgeport area, Trumbull on the Parkway southbound, Bridgeport and 95 southbound. That's where we're starting to see some delays. Also, Westport on 95 southbound joining the mix there. But you know what else is joining the mix? The sunshine. As we take a look right over the Aragoni Bridge, it is just beautiful outside. But with that said, just make sure you're grabbing the sunglasses because you may experience a little bit of sun glare. Here we are right over the Bulkley Bridge, but that vitamin D is a welcome thing this morning as we're all waking up on this Monday. I'll leave you with this beautiful shot here right over the Baldwin Bridge between Old Lyme and Old Saybrook. That's some vitamin C there, SCA. Get it? That's your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers. And now it's 7:03. Let's talk about that exciting night for basketball fans happening tonight because it's the WNBA draft.
Yeah, fresh off winning the national championship, all eyes will be on Paige Bueckers tonight, the expected #1 draft pick. Your reporter Marcy Jones live in studio this morning. So Marcy, UConn could also make history tonight in this draft.
Yes, so exciting. If Paige Bueckers is the first draft pick tonight, that would make her the 6th UConn Husky to become the #1 pick for the WNBA draft. No other school has that many. If there are no surprises, Bueckers will be heading to the Dallas Wings tonight, who have the first pick. In December, Bueckers became the first college athlete to have her own Nike Play Edition shoe. She was also the first college athlete to sign an NIL deal with Gatorade. According to multiple outlets that track sponsorships and other deals for college athletes, Bueckers is the 3rd most valuable woman in college sports, has the 2nd largest social media following, and the highest engagement from her followers. The WNBA draft will begin at 7:30, continuing through 3 rounds and 38 total picks. Channel 3's Mark Robbins will be live there tonight for us. So lots to look forward to, ladies.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Marcy. Also, the UConn Huskies are celebrating their national championship. That celebration yesterday in Hartford brought in almost 20,000 people to the downtown streets for a parade and rally.
Yeah, that on top of the thousands of people who watched the celebration right here on Channel 3. Fans of all ages came out to celebrate the Huskies and their record-setting 12th national championship. And we got to see members of the Eyewitness News team marching along the parade route as well. You can always watch the parade in its entirety. Sports director Joe Zone and I anchored it. It was so much fun. You can find it on our website, WFSB.com. And of course, we'll stay on top of all the updates on the WNBA draft, as well as the stories you need to know. Download the WFSB app for headlines right to your phone.
This morning, we're learning about a deadly shooting in Hartford that ended up killing a 17-year-old.
Your reporter, Aaliyah Red, is in the city with more on the victim that comes today and the teens who are charged in his death. Aaliyah.
Well, Tracy, Nicole, it was yesterday when 17-year-old Chevron Wilson was just lying in this road right here on Barker Street. When police got here, they said that he was unresponsive. There are still some leftover signs from the crime scene yesterday, just some caution tape left behind. And there's also some across the street. But we do know that the two teens accused with killing Wilson, they will be in court later on today. Now, the pair are expected to be in juvenile court, that is. Police do say that Chevron Wilson was gunned down Sunday afternoon. Friends do tell us that it happened just steps from his home. He was rushed to the hospital, and that's where he died. Now, police do say that the two suspects were caught on camera fleeing the scene at a high rate of speed in a stolen car. Now, officials are calling this a targeted act of violence, and they do say that they're facing armed carjacking and homicide charges as well. Now, back out here live, this is the city's 5th homicide, and what you're looking at right now is some candles still burning from the vigil held for Chevron yesterday. They're burning here, they're still here, and they're just a clear sign that Chevron was loved and that he will truly be missed. Your reporter in Hartford, Aaliyah Rad, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Aaliyah. We're also on top of some breaking news right now in Hartford, where we know a person was hit by a car this morning on Broad Street. Right now, we're working to learn if anyone was hurt, and as soon as those updates come into our newsroom, you'll be the first to know about them.
It is 7:06 right now. A man is facing multiple charges in connection to a fire at the home of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Police say 38-year-old Cody Balmer jumped over a fence and set the fire on purpose while the governor and his family were inside. The family had to evacuate, and the suspect now faces charges of attempted murder, terrorism, and arson.
And also this morning, police are trying to squash any rumors of a serial killer here in New England. These rumors have been popping up on social media after human remains were found in eastern Connecticut and Rhode Island over the past few months. But police say it's simply not true. Human remains were found in Danielson just last week. However, police say there is no evidence connecting them to the remains found in other areas, including in Groton last month.
Well, this morning we're learning about a fire in Ansonia. We have some pictures here that show all the heavy smoke and flames. The Ansonia Fire Department says they responded to the top floor of a 2.5-story building just before 7 o'clock last night. You can see here it is a multi-family home. The department says the fire was put out within an hour. Right now we're working to find out if anyone was hurt.
Happening now, President Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping have no plans to speak about the escalating trade war between the U.S. and China.
Well, this is all according to the U.S. Trade Representative Ambassador. The announcement comes as exports from China jumped over 12% in March. Experts believe companies are trying to beat increases brought on by the tariffs and predict a sharp decline in exports coming soon. China currently faces 145% tariffs on most exports. President Trump made computer-related products from China exempt from those tariffs. Well, firefighters in Hartford made a very unique rescue over the weekend.
Look at this photo here. You have to look at your screen. Firefighters saved this dog that was stranded high up on the roof, and here's the video to prove it. Somehow the dog got on top of the roof through an open attic window, we're told, in the home on New Park Ave. And the first responders used their bucket truck to safely bring the dog down. Wow. Talk about cats in trees and now dogs on roofs.
Well, you know what? Those dogs on the ground and their paws are going to get a little wet tomorrow, but today they are dry, and same goes for Wednesday. So yeah, eventually some rain will come back, but not today. Look at Mystic, not a cloud in the sky. Perfect. Crystal blue conditions, 45 there. We still have some frosty numbers, though, inland in Tolland and Willimantic, and then 35 Hartford. You go down the road a little bit, and it's 50 degrees in Meriden. Huh. Well, we're all headed into the 60s later on today, and the range is going to be from low 60s at the shoreline to those middle and upper 60s as we head inland. So again, these conditions are looking great out there as we look town by town. Look at that, 64 Thomaston, 68 in New Britain. The normal high now for this time of year is 60, but these numbers finally above average and breaking the 9-day stretch of below average high temperatures. I can't believe Saturday we had some snow. We had 38 only for a high, and today we are some 30 degrees warmer. So spring-like weather is back. We'll let you know how long it's going to last coming up later in your First Alert forecast.